Thank you, Gabby. Congratulations to the Warriors basketball team, and we hope for more success in the state championship tournament. The calendars turn the page from February to March, and you know what that means? March Madness. And the first weekend of March didn't disappoint. There were upsets, intriguing storylines, and a college coach who finally reached a historic milestone. Let's not delay. Here are the most important stories from Saturday's college games. Gonzaga was looking to cement its resume as the #1 seed for the upcoming NCAA tournament with a home win against Brigham Young. BYU would be the last one laughing in this one as the Cougars went on the road to beat #3 Gonzaga 73-70. Kyle Collinsworth led BYU with 20 points, and this win for the Cougars might make them a lock for the big dance. Billy Donovan's Florida Gators aren't going to be dancing in March, but that doesn't mean he can't be showing his groove thing at the local dance club. Donovan now has 500 head coaching wins after his Florida Gators knocked off the Tennessee Volunteers 66-49. Donovan becomes the second youngest coach in Division I history to reach the 500 milestone. Who's the youngest, you might ask? Bob Knight. Who says no one's perfect? Don't tell that to the Kentucky Wildcats, who are now 29-0 after easily defeating number 18 Arkansas on Saturday. The #1 team in the nation made mincemeat of the Arkansas Razorbacks as the Wildcats led by as much as 31 points with under 8 minutes left. Kentucky's final 2 regular season games are against unranked SEC opponents. The only team that might defeat Kentucky in the upcoming SEC tournament will probably be Arkansas, as there are no other ranked teams in the SEC. The game of the weekend was definitely number 11 Wichita State versus number 10 Northern Iowa. The battle for supremacy in the Missouri Valley Conference didn't disappoint the fans, although the Wichita State Shockers ended up showing the college basketball world why they were #1 seed in last year's tournament. Wichita State defeated Northern Iowa 74-60, which means that Wichita State will be the #1 seed for the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. The Shockers defeated the NIU Panthers with total team basketball. 5 players for Wichita State scored in double figures. Seth Tuttle was the only player for Northern Iowa to score in double figures. The college games weren't the only basketball games to watch this past weekend. The NBA had its fair share of competitive games, which included the Thunder losing to the Trailblazers on Friday night. Why is that a big deal? The Thunder lost their second straight game, and Russell Westbrook recorded a triple-double in both of those games. Westbrook leads the NBA in triple-doubles this season with 5. Is Westbrook the MVP of the NBA this season? You tell me. Be sure to tell us on Facebook on Television Villa Park Style's Facebook page, TVVP Style for short. However, basketball is just a game. Anthony Mason was a great basketball player, but he was also a great ambassador for the game, which is why this news is very tragic. Mason passed away from a heart attack at the age of 48 on Saturday morning. He was a former Knick on those great 90s teams. In order to honor their fallen comrade, the Knicks held a moment of silence before their game on Saturday against the Raptors. Mason played for the Knicks from 91 to 1996. Have you ever thought about what you can accomplish in 14 seconds? Ronda Rousey just doesn't get stuff done in 14 seconds. She can knock out a UFC opponent in that same time span. Ronda Rousey forced previously unbeaten Carla Zingano to tap out in just 14 seconds into the fight in the main event of UFC 184. Rousey also knocked out Alexis Davis in just 16 seconds in UFC 175 last July. And finally, let's transition to what's going on with Chicago teams. A lot happened on Saturday with the 2 teams that play the United Center, the Blackhawks and the Bulls. The Blackhawks knew that they needed a dynamic forward to replace the injured Patrick Kane, so they made a trade with the Coyotes on Saturday to acquire 32-year-old specialist Antoine Vermette. The Blackhawks also traded for defenseman Kimmo Timonen on Friday. If you get hurt while emptying stuff out of your truck, don't feel too bad. White Sox ace Chris Sale injured himself doing that same activity. General Manager Rick Hahn says that Chris Sale fractured his foot by landing awkwardly after unloading some stuff from the back of his truck. Sale will miss at least 3 weeks. And now this final thought. Chris Sale fractured his foot by getting stuff out of his truck. This incident comes after Michael Saunders tore his meniscus from stepping on a sprinkler head and after Ronald Belisario fractured his non-throwing shoulder by getting out of a swimming pool. Why are all these MLB players getting these non-baseball related injuries? These guys gotta be more careful when they're not on the baseball diamond. Thanks for watching this week's Sports Report. I'm Kyle Smith. Have a great upcoming work week, everybody.